Listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged. Come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application, and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone that would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First application is application 25022. Property is located at 104 Carl's Path in North Babylon. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. Roxanne Trella, Dynamic Expediting Services with offices at 231 Islip Avenue, Islip, New York.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 26, 2025, Environmental Control memo dated March 3, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Barrett, Bonucci, and Van Weel dated December 5th, 2022, tax map acting as an area map. And
Mr. Chairman, we have 5 photographs.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, we're here for a accessory structure, a shed on the property. The shed is 12 by 20, and we're here for a side variance and a rear yard variance. In the rear of the property that abuts it, there's also a shed on their property that abuts this shed, and on the other side of the property is an apartment complex. This application came about when a violation notice was received. It's noted in the planning memo that it was used as a cottage prior to this. All of the interior finishes have been removed. We do have photographs of the interior, and there has been an inspection. All of the plumbing has been removed, and it's been removed by a licensed plumber to the source, and that inspection is pending. They wouldn't schedule it prior to the hearing tonight. And the other comment on the planning memo was for the survey to be revised and remove the wording of cottage and have it replaced with shed. We have ordered the survey, and we expect it within a week or so.
Okay, thank you. Attorney, hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
So when was this, sorry, when was this structure erected?
The structure's been there since about 2013, based on the aerials. The owner that owns the property now just purchased it in 2023, and unfortunately, when they purchased it, it already had the finishes, and as soon as they were advised by the town that they weren't permitted to be there, they did work on removing everything.
Okay. What made the town come to the property? Why did the town inspect the property at all?
I'm not sure. Code enforcement showed up with a violation, so I'm assuming somebody called in something. But as soon as they came in, they required a rental permit. We came before the rental board. We obtained the rental permit. They had to make repairs to the driveway and the walkway. That was done, and the rental permit was issued. All their permits have been applied for, and this is the next step.
Got it. So the current owner was responsible for removing the plumbing and all that stuff inside this shed, cottage, what
Yes.
have you?
Unfortunately, even though they didn't install everything, since they are the owner, they're responsible, and they took care of it.
Nice. Where it's positioned right now is fairly close to the property line? Is there any way it could be moved a foot or two?
Based on the structure itself and the size and the foundation, it would be very costly for them to try and move it. They did remove all the finishes, and like I said, to the rear, there's another shed, and right to the other side, it's an apartment complex with a parking lot abutting the shed.
Okay. If approved, do you agree that should the accessory building or shed ever be taken down, it's rebuilt in a conforming location?
Yes.
And we agree that there's no heating, plumbing in this, and there will never be?
Yes.
Okay. No habitable space? It'll
No
just be
habitable
used for storage or?
Storage only. Yes.
Okay, and their survey will be updated?
Yes.
All right.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
On the survey, it shows that there's an AC unit on the back of that. On the survey, it shows that there's AC in this cottage/shed.
Everything has been removed, all of the plumbing. There is no plumbing remaining at all in the cottage or the shed now.
So that AC unit is no longer,
No longer there.
So that'll come off the survey when you update it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I have no further questions.
No, it's good. Thinking the same way. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing. We're going to keep reserve decision. Keep the record open for a new survey.
Second.
Okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next application is application 25024. Property is located at 501 Old Country Road in Deer Park. Name and address for the record, please.
It's Mike Lorado, Captain Permit, 245 Route 109, Suite D, West Babylon, New York.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 26, 2025, environmental control memo dated March 3, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Vincent Tenanico dated March 10, 2023, tax map acting as an area map, and okay. I'll make a motion to amend variance number 1, permission to the building area of the rear yard from 45. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we're here today seeking relief to increase rear yard coverage from 45% to 69.43%. So the owners are looking to add a new shed, approximately 375 square feet. This shed will have the correct setbacks and will play a role in increasing the rear yard coverage. This shed will be used for storage use only. They have no intention of adding any heat or plumbing to this accessory structure. In addition, we're seeking relief of approximately 5-foot setback to maintain an existing roofed-over cellar entrance. Per GIS, this roofed-over was built sometime between 2011 and 2013. This was added to keep the elements out of the outside staircase, as well as it covers the rear stoop. This basement does have a CO, and the owners have no intentions in enclosing this roofed-over or cellar entrance. With regards to the total rear yard coverage, the owner would rather not cut down the pavers, as he uses this area for family gatherings and for recreation purposes such as family dinners, barbecues. The pavers are about 3 feet from the property line. I know that gets asked all the time, that you guys require a 2-foot setback. This has a 3-foot setback. We feel that the pavers are set back enough to prevent any runoff issues to any of the neighboring properties. Directly behind this property to the north, it is an unoccupied piece of land, so there's no house on it. So we don't feel that these pavers would create a negative impact on any of the surrounding properties. And also, if you could look at the survey, the rear yard in this property is significantly shorter than the front yard property. If anybody has any questions.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Montiglio.
Good evening, how are you?
How you doing?
It says here, can you cut back the patio to reduce the lot coverage?
Well, we would rather not. Like I said, if you look at the survey, the way it's proportioned, it doesn't really have a deep rear yard.
Okay, but the rear yard patio was simply smaller when the outside cellar was constructed. I mean, how to get bigger?
He had just added to it as he's been there.
When was the awning over the cellar constructed?
Sometime between 2011 and 13. And it doesn't just cover the rear cellar, so it covers the back porch as well. So it comes off the side of the house and extends over. There's some pictures there. I don't know if you have them. Did they give them to you?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. All right, if this was approved with the conditions, the shed would only for storage.
That's all he needs it for, yep.
No habitable space permitted, no heating or plumbing in the shed at all.
Absolutely not.
And the roof over the outside cellar entrance will not be enclosed at all?
Nope.
All right, Chairman, I motion to approve.
Hold on. Would anyone else, anybody else from the board, anybody want to be heard on the board? And would anybody like to be heard on the application in the audience? For the record, there are none. Okay. You guys good?
All right, Chairman, I'd like to approve application number 25-024 with the conditions of the shed to be the storage only, no habitable space, no plumbing and heating in the shed, and also the roof over the outside cellar and roofs never to be enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Next application is application 25018, property located at 21 Powell Court, North Babylon.
Yeah, then.
Name and address for the record.
Hi, good evening. Christina Bravin, Morano Expediting, P.O. Box 39, Bethpage, New York.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 26, 25, environmental control memo dated March 3rd, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Suffolk County Planning memo dated March 5th, 2025, decision of local determination. Take no position for or against. A survey by Aerial Land Surveying dated June 27, 2024. Tax map acting as an area map. And,
Mr. Chairman, there's 9 photographs.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
We're requesting permission to construct a 12-foot by 29-foot rear roof over with retractable screens holding a rear yard setback of 28 feet instead of the required 30 feet, and also seeking permission to maintain a shed 8.2 by 12.4 holding a rear yard setback of 1 foot and side yard of 0.7 instead of the required 6. So the proposed roof over, it's called a life room. It's literally the roof over with retractable screens, and you can roll them down and attach them on tracks on the ground. So it's seasonally used. Can't ever enclose it. It's not a structure that you can put plumbing or heating, which I know is always a concern from the board. They back up to the Southern State Parkway, as you can see, heavily vegetated, so it's great for screening from the neighbors. They won't be affected by this project, but not good for the mosquitoes, so they would like to have this so they could sit outside. In regards to the shed, the homeowner actually did call the building department and was told that a 100 square foot shed doesn't need a permit, and he bought what he thought was 100 square feet, but it's 1.68 square feet over. It's 8.2 by 12.4. He just thought he bought an 8 by 12. So the survey mapped it out a little over 100 square feet, and so if it was 100 square feet, he'd get the 2-foot setback, which he's not currently meeting, but again, it's 1.68 square feet over. And I do have 2 letters in support of the application in response to our mailings.
Thank you.
You're
Turn
welcome.
the hearing over to Ms. McCullough.
All right, so fine with the sunroom. Looks like you guys do need that to protect from the bugs. That's a nuisance. As far as the shed, we would like it at least 2 feet,
Okay.
okay? Because you're just a tad bit over and then a tad bit under as far as coverage. So if you could just get it to 2 feet on both sides, we'll be good to go.
Okay, I think he'd agree to that, yes.
Perfect. You say? Looks like plastic. What, is it plastic?
I guess you would consider it plastic, like a composite, right?
Yeah.
It's movable.
It's movable then, yeah.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So we're going to need an updated plot plan so you can amend, so we can amend the variances, okay?
To the 2 feet. Show this, yes.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hearing's closed, decision is reserved. Keep the record open for the plot plan.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next application is application 25023 of, the address is 267th Avenue, West Babylon. Name and address for the record.
Roxanne Trella, Dynamic Expediting Services with offices at 231 Islip Avenue, Islip, New York.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 26, 2025, a survey by Ariel Land Surveying dated August 7, 2024, tax map acting as an area map, and,
Mr. Chairman, we have 4 photographs.
okay, would you like to tell us about the application?
So the current property owners purchased the property in late 2024. They are expanding their family. They currently have 3 children, and they are expecting a 4th. The existing dwelling came with 4 bedrooms. They had 2 on the second floor, 2 on the first floor. They're proposing a second floor addition to relocate all bedrooms to the second floor. I know there was a question about an accessory apartment. They did submit a notarized letter to the planning department stating that they will not be applying for an accessory apartment or a second kitchen. They have no intentions on it. It is going to be just a one-family dwelling. They're relocating all the bedrooms to the second floor. They are going to maintain 1 bedroom on the first floor for the in-laws when they come to help with the new baby. But other than that, it is just 4 bedrooms on the second floor. They have 1 bathroom and walk-in closet in the primary suite, and then they have the bathroom for the remaining 3 bedrooms on the second floor and a laundry room. And on the first floor, it is the ordinary kitchen, living room, dining room. And they are proposing a second laundry room solely for access to do more laundry, I guess, because they have such a big family. They have a pool in the yard. She said she would like to be able to come in from the pool and throw in the wet clothes, or if she's cooking dinner or the kids are doing homework, she's able to do laundry upstairs and downstairs. Seems like every woman's dream is to just do more laundry.
Second floor, not on both, that's, okay. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, so
Do the laundry.
the extension here lends itself to a accessory apartment. There's no intentions of a second kitchen.
No intentions at all.
Second
It's
bed,
just a
second-
one-family dwelling.
Okay, and for the record, 2 laundry rooms. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
I personally hate laundry, but I get the need for it.
Yeah, okay. The distance from the north side of the lot line to the raised patio, it's not pervious, it's
Correct. I did go over the planning memo with the property owner, and they were willing to reduce the raised patio to bring it to meet the 2-foot two-foot setback.
okay. And we're going with 2 laundry rooms. It's a first.
New one, we haven't heard that before.
Yeah, no, does it come with a maid?
I wish.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? So, yeah, you want to amend, we'll amend the application then to, John, you want to do it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to eliminate variance number 7, diminish the distance from north side lot line from 2 feet to 0 feet for raised patio.
Second.
All in favor?
You also agree that there'll be no accessory apartment?
Yes,
There must be internal access throughout the entire dwelling?
yes,
Front porch will not be further enclosed?
yes,
And if the ground pool is ever taken down, it must be rebuilt in a conforming location?
yes,
And then we could also recommend a condition that patio be cut back 2 feet and lot coverage be calculated to reflect that.
Do you understand that?
yes.
Okay.
All right.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We'll keep the record open for a new survey indicating the changes, and that's it.
Okay. Survey showing the removal or a plot plan indicating the removal? Plot plan, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next application is application 25026 of Factory Direct, Ashley Furniture, property located in East Farmingdale.
Good evening, James Mosiri Sign Company, Jamaica, New York. I'm representing Factory Direct Enterprises, DBA Ashley Furniture Home Store,
I need an address for you.
148-27 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard, Jamaica, New York.
I do affirm to tell the truth.
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 27th, 2025, environmental control memo dated March 3rd, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Suffolk County Planning memo dated March 5th, 2025. Decision of local determination, take no position for or against. Tax map acting as an area map. This is a site plan by High Point Engineering, and I cannot make out the date. So we'll just call it undated. And
Mr. Chairman, we have 3 photographs.
7/115 with the young eyes. What would you like to tell us about the application?
My client's asking to the board's consideration to approve a what was previously a non-conforming sign and then approved by a variance with a height of 8 foot 6 inch to the top of the sign to a new height of 10 foot 3 inch. The current sign is at 8 foot 6. I think you see it up there on the screen. They changed their logo, and I'm sure you have the drawings in front of you. You'll see that they'll be eliminating the word home store that's on the screen behind you, lowering the word Ashley, and that little caricature of the house would then go on top, centered on the building. Not increasing the square footage, however. It'll stay identically the same at, I believe it's 283 square feet. I'm sorry, 223 square feet. That, again, that will stay the same. Home store is being eliminated. And the only thing, it would be an additional 19 inches in height or higher than it is currently on the building.
Okay. So you're going to take off home store, and Ashley's going to get moved down?
Correct.
A little bit?
Yeah, it's a different font, but it'll get moved down.
And then the house is going to go on top?
Correct. It'll be centered above. Sleep shop would stay the same.
Yeah, I know. This changes all the time. It's like...
Hey, it's my dream.
Sorry.
Almost as good as a bank conversion.
So your reasoning behind the increase in the height is that it's the branding of the company to do that?
It's the national branding of the company.
Okay.
They've changed the logo
So really,
significantly.
it's not really changing the actual height of everything, or is
No, and the square
just
footage stays the same.
because it's the, it's going on top, so it becomes part of the sign instead of the background up above?
That's exactly right, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, we are waiting for an updated affidavit of posting.
Have
Yeah,
it?
we have that.
We'll take it, thank you.
I have it here? I have it here. That's this? Yep. Okay. May I?
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve application 25026 for a period of 3 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, good night.
Got it.
Have a good one.
Next application is application 24250, property located at 430 Falmouth Road in West Babylon.
Hi.
Name, hey, how are you?
Dominic Salvamini, business name, Vet Dreams, 430 Falmouth Road.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 27, 2025, Environmental Control memo dated March 3rd, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A Fire Marshal's report dated March 6, 2025 has a valid permit. Suffolk County Planning memo dated March 5th, 2025, decision of local termination, take no position for or against. A survey by Kenneth O'Brien, December 4th. 69, wow. 1969, tax map acting as an area map, and
Mr. Chairman, we have 4 photographs.
And your correspondence, number 6, you have an email with photographs showing the barbed wire has been removed.
Yeah, years back, I was here and they told me to remove my barbed wire, so I actually cut it all down. And my secretary took pictures to send to the town, and I didn't even know I had there's a 4-foot gate with barbed wire on top behind the building. I didn't even know until I saw the picture. So I cut it down immediately, and like the young lady said, we mailed it in.
okay. What else would you like to tell us about the application?
I don't know. I've been just automotive. I've been in Babylon doing business for 35 years, restoring Corvettes and classic cars, and I try and do everything, or I do everything on the up and up, and I don't know what else to say. I try and keep the yard clean. I run a business. Kevin Smith, I think, was the inspector, because last time I was here, they told me I needed a permit for my container. But he came to the yard, told me to clean everything up, and I actually rented a 30-yard dumpster, and I threw away a lot of money in chassis, but just to clean the yard up so I can get the permit for the container. And I did get that, and I know I am late for the renewal this time around. I think it was due in May, I believe. Am I correct? And I just got the approval in May for the container, and then not as an excuse, but I got sickly parents in Florida that they just called me 10 minutes ago. I'm constantly going back and forth and sending them money and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But and then the holidays were getting close, and I did call the town, and I said, can I move it up to after the holidays, or back to after the holidays? And she said, no problem. And after the holidays are over, I mailed my check in, or my secretary dropped it off, and now I'm here trying to keep everything legitimate.
Okay. I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
I'll ask you how you are, but you just told us, so
Well, no,
things are getting better.
it's okay. It's good.
On the report here, do you see that they had various automobile parts such as tires? You have tires stacked up there or something?
I think last time I was here, I'm not 100% sure, they told me that I couldn't have tires unless they were going to be used, and I did dispose of the tires without rims, but I think everything back there now, because even Kevin Smith, the inspector, said they should be on rims because they are usable. So that's, if I have to remove the tires, or I can stack them behind the building so they're not even seen, the ones that are on rims, because I do need them for rollers.
You were, as you read this here, it says you were approved for outdoor storage of cars awaiting repair, not materials.
I didn't know that, I'd be quite honest, I really didn't.
Okay,
Kevin told me what I could keep outside, what I couldn't, and he gave me I spent a lot of time cleaning the yard up, and I said, is everything all right? He says, yeah, and I don't know.
And you were the same entity that was here the last time?
Yes.
We renewed this?
Yes, I
So-
purchased that building about 15 years ago.
And that would be 430 Neptune Avenue LLC?
That's my LLC, yeah. This is on Falmouth Road, the building.
Okay. Well, it needs to be renewed the same then.
And then I was around the corner on Peconic for 16 years, and then I moved here.
All right, so you're still subject to the previously filed conditions and covenants for public public garage and auto repair?
Correct.
Okay, and the barbed wire has been removed?
Yes, it has. I have a photo here, but I think you already got it in an email, but,
That's fine.
okay.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Well, let's first amend it, that it's, the applicant is 430 Neptune Avenue LLC to be consistent with the last renewal.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to amend the application to read it be 430 Neptune Avenue LLC, as was previously approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 24-250 for a period of 5 years. As amended.
Second.
With the subject to previously approved filed conditions and covenants for public garage and auto repair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, we're good? Did I hear 5 years?
5 years.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Take care. You need a Corvette restored, or, let me know.
You would've got, we just need the Corvette, we don't need it restored.
Take care.
Couldn't get in one.
Right.
Next application is application 25021 of Seabreeze Mechanical, property located in Copac. Name and address for the record.
Kelly Bennett, 1257 Udall Road, Bayshore, New York, 11706.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 27th, 2025. Environmental control memo dated March 3rd, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Fire marshal's report dated March 6th, 2025. See attached. Tenant property owner to contact this office to schedule an on-site inspection.
We did take care of that. The fire marshal was out there with the building inspector just, I want to say 2 days ago, I believe.
Okay, well,
Mr. Morgan
we don't
Davis.
have it from him yet, but you did do it.
Yes, he
Okay.
was out there, so we'll make sure that gets over to zoning right away.
Okay.
Nikki, just for the record, the fire marshal report is dated February 24th, 2025.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so, yes, so you've been out there, okay. Suffolk County Planning memo dated March 5th, 2025, decision of local determination. Take no position for or against a survey by Elizabeth McQuilkin, dated April 13th, 2023, tax map acting as an area map, and
Mr. Chairman, we have 11 photographs.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Basically, I'm here tonight on behalf of both the architect's office as well as the property owner, who is also the business owner. So that's Mr. Timothy Beaumont, who is present tonight with us. So he is the building owner as well as the business owner of Seabreeze Mechanical. The property is located on the west side of Strong Avenue. I'm sorry, basically we have 3 front yards, so we have Lambert and Cheddick. So the property is a little bit unique in the sense of it being a super corner with 3 front yards. So the original building, as you guys can see, was constructed in such a way that we don't have much front yard and we don't have much rear yard. The proposed application to the building department was for proposed site work to improve this site. We did already obtain a permit for facade work that's covered under our planning board application. This scope of work is for new paving, curb cuts, retaining walls, replacement of loading dock, landscaping, and improvement to drainage on the site. So through working with the planning department and, meeting all other requirements, we are proposing our parking within a front yard. The storage containers located in the rear, we do have applications completed. I'm going to be filing those actually tomorrow morning, so those will be permitted. They are essential to the business and would remain in that area. So this is the need for the parking in the 2 front yards. So that is our first request in terms of variance. We are deficient 11 spaces. We're required 41 parking spaces, and we are providing 30. So just to give you an idea of the nature of the business, they manufacture HVAC ductwork at this site. So when we went through the planning board, we did calculate for parking for 10% of office, which we do not currently have on site. It is strictly warehouse. So we have that buffer of the parking in those calculations that essentially we really don't need. We have 5 to 10 employees at max. Currently, there are 5. The business manager works off-site, so there is no one running an office in the location. So the operating hours are 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that's Monday through Friday. Saturdays are an as business demands needed day, and that would be somewhere between 6 a.m. no later than 12. Since Mr. Beaumont has made these improvements, the neighbors have been tremendously happy, and his goal is to continue if we, barring our approval tonight, we can continue this site work to improve the site. So that pretty much covers, so the containers we are legalizing, that is why we're not proposing any parking in the rear. As you could see from the survey, there's not a tremendous amount of space. We have 14 feet to those containers, so that would be something that, as the business needs change, we would utilize. So that is the reason why we really can't put the parking anywhere else. The site doesn't really allow for that. So again, they're manufacturing the HVAC ductwork. They're also installing that. They get 1 to 2 small deliveries per day. The item that's being stored in the containers, the need for them, the nature of the business requires them to buy insulation in great bulk. The insulation is stored in those storage containers. So it's very easy access for the guys to put on a mask, go out, grab that insulation as needed, rather than storing that in the manufacturing area, essentially. So kind of for safety and also for business purposes. It pays to buy it in bulk, so that's where they're storing it. So as you guys know, I mean, the site does in fact provide, adequate parking for their business needs, just to assure the board of that. And this area, as we all know, has always been, not pleasing to the residential neighbors on the other side of Strong, which is located in the village of Lindenhurst. Or else I'm sure we would have had quite a few neighbors of support out tonight. And it is a tremendous improvement. So we are proposing 1 new curb cut on Cheddick, 2 new curb cuts on Lambert. Again, the way the original building's constructed, there really is no access or anything for us to propose on Strong Avenue side. Did you guys have any questions that I could maybe better answer about any of this?
I'm going to turn the hearing over to Mr. Delavecchia, and he'll...
Good evening, how are you?
Good.
You answered a lot of my questions.
Okay.
Will you be applying for any outdoor storage?
At this particular moment, the business does not need outdoor storage. That's also that container area could, if need be, down the road, if business needs change, where, there's an opportunity for some of that. But at this particular point in time, we do not need any outside storage. That's why it's not part of the application.
I went there this morning, and there's a bunch of pallets and other metal stuff. I don't even know what they are. Like 50 pallets, maybe?
I do believe that just because of some of the, what's that? Okay, trash to go out. There is definitely periods of time where they do, have things that are going to be either picked up or gotten rid of by end of business day.
Okay. Next question would be the barbed wire. Are you going to be applying for that?
Would
or
you have a
taking it
need
down?
to keep any of the barbed wire? No, he would want it all out, so
And are you going to be doing retail out of there, or is it
no, this is all
just
manufa-
fabrication? and
all
just
fabrication.
Only employees that will be coming in and out?
That's it.
You?
No customers, no, there's no retail aspect
Okay.
associated with this.
And will this be the only business at this?
It
Yes.
is. I did forget to answer that one question. This is no prospects of multi-tenant use here. He's made the great investment in the building for his business,
Definitely
which
looks
is.
a lot better, I'll say that.
Yeah, I know.
My last question would be, any site changes, would that affect any of the variances?
Well, at this point, no. So our associated variances are all in connection with our planning board application, which we did just receive, actually, I believe yesterday, we got our preliminary planning board approval package. So this is kind of our last step, is asking for the grace and relief from this board. So at this point, no changes to the drainage site work or site work proposed.
Okay. If approved, you would agree that you would maintain all the necessary permits?
Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., actually, they're going in. They're in my pocketbook.
All right.
Absolutely, we would 100% agree to that. They are very anxious and excited to get, the site to match, the rest of the building.
Any other questions from the board?
I have one. You might have said it, and I might have missed it. Total number of employees?
Currently, right now, they have 5 employees, just due to the volume of business. At max, there are 10 employees at any given high point of the business, should we say.
Thank you.
Would any, all right, so we're going to need fire marshal. Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We are going to need fire marshal on this.
Yep. Is there any way to get decision conditional of that, or we have to leave everything open for that?
We could do that.
Okay. I'm surprised, it didn't come yet, because they confirmed, but that's okay.
Oh, that's for yes.
We were just grateful it got done. Did you get a copy of this report? I believe that I have it somewhere. I didn't even think to bring it, but it's somewhere in my email.
So we'll condition. We can-
Okay, perfect.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 25-021 with the conditions that the barbed wire be removed, an application for the storage containers be applied for and granted, and the permits be maintained, as well as a condition for approval from fire marshal.
All in favor? Aye. Good luck.
Thank you all so much.
No, there's no. Next application is application 25012 of CubeSmart, property located in East Farmingdale. Mr. Farrell, you're on the clock.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the applicant, John Farrell with firm of Psalm Ward, Braff, Coscignano. Our offices are at 1300 Vets Highway, Suite 100, Hauppauge, New York.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 18th, 2025, environmental control memo dated February 19th, 2025. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Tax map acting as an area map. Survey by Galea Surveying Group dated, last dated, I can see there's 2 dates, that's it.
7/26/17.
Okay. And, hey, what would you like to tell us about the application?
So the subject property is a flag lot. It's located at 505 Bi-County Boulevard. It was subdivided off from the adjoining office building a few years ago, and presently they are in the process of constructing a 3-story self-storage facility. Really, it's moving along pretty quickly. They're almost done with the building, and they expect COs within the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're here tonight seeking the signage that will help customers identify and locate the facility and the entrance. Specifically, we're requesting permission to increase the number of wall signs on the east side of the building, which is the side that faces Route 110, from 1 to 4. And we're also increasing the number of wall signs on the north side of the building from 1 to 2. That's the side of the building that faces the southbound traffic on Route 110. We also need a variance for signs indicating where the entrance is. They're slightly taller than permitted by code. We are asking to go from 6 feet to 7 feet. Originally, my client didn't intend to put as much signage up. However, it became necessary as the parcel to the east, which was vacant when they embarked on this process, is now being developed with a 4-story hotel that obscures the view of the building. So the signage became necessary to direct people's attention, to get them to go off of 110, off of Michael Drive, to get to the access for the building. That's really what's driving the need for this application, and we hope that the directional signage will, limit traffic backups and so forth that could potentially come on Route 110 for people looking for the facility. If the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. I will make a motion to approve application 25012 for a period of 5 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
And I will end the live.